2024 might be remembered as the year when Boeing started facing big troubles. They've been in the news for bad reasons since the start of the year, from whistleblower scandals to plane crashes. These problems have kept them in the spotlight for months. Boeing had a chance to turn things around with the launch of their Starliner spacecraft, but they missed that chance too. Things actually got worse because of ongoing issues with the Starliner. Somehow, Boeing managed to launch the spacecraft and dock it with the International Space Station. Many of us thought they had finally succeeded, but we were wrong. This was just the start of a bigger problem. Boeing has not been able to bring astronauts back safely, and recently, videos of the Starliner have been all over social media, making people even more worried about the astronauts' safety. Many important people are criticizing Boeing over this issue, and we'll talk about it in this video. Before we dive in, please subscribe to our channel for more updates about the Starliner and other important space missions. Boeing is under constant fire for failing to return astronauts from the International Space Station. Adding to the problem, an old video is making the rounds on social media, causing even more concern for the astronauts. The footage shows the Boeing Starliner spacecraft being rolled out to the launch pad for its second attempt to dock with the International Space Station. In the video, captured by a news cameraman, a piece of the capsule's window seems to pop off and fall to the ground during transport. This incident caused the team to stop briefly to check for damage before continuing to Space Launch Complex 41 in Cape Canaveral, Florida. The window issue raises questions about the Starliner's ability to handle the extreme conditions of space travel, especially during re-entry. Re-entry is one of the hardest parts of spaceflight, where the spacecraft must survive temperatures over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit as it passes through Earth's atmosphere. The intense heat and forces could easily damage the spacecraft if any part, especially something as crucial as a window, is not securely attached. The spacecraft also has to endure huge pressure changes as it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere, moving from the vacuum of space to atmospheric pressure, requiring strong engineering to keep all parts intact and working. Any failure in the capsule's structure could be disastrous, leading to a loss of cabin pressure and endangering the astronauts' lives. Boeing's history with their airplanes hasn't helped either, as they've faced issues with windows blowing out midair and even losing doors sometimes. The Starliner project has had major challenges from the start. Its first launch in 2020 nearly ended in disaster when a timing error caused the spacecraft to burn through its fuel too quickly, preventing it from reaching the International Space Station. This prompted a NASA safety review that found Boeing had skipped important steps in its planning and quality assurance processes. The second uncrewed test flight, originally planned for August 2021, faced several setbacks. Engineers found serious problems, including the corrosion of valves due to Florida's humidity. This issue was so bad that it required the spacecraft to be completely removed from the launch pad for extensive repairs. The corroded valves were part of the propulsion system, crucial for maneuvering the spacecraft in space and during re-entry. In addition to the valve corrosion, engineers also found problems with the spacecraft's software. These software glitches, if not fixed, could have led to disastrous failures during the mission. These issues were similar to the software problems found during the first launch, raising more questions about Boeing's testing and validation procedures. The spacecraft also faced hardware issues, with several components not meeting NASA's safety standards, leading to further delays as Boeing worked to bring the Starliner up to code. After 2 years, the Starliner spacecraft finally managed to reach space after 6 delays in 1 month. However, once in space, 5 of Starliner's 28 reaction control thrusters failed during the final phase of docking. Fortunately, mission teams performed a series of tests, which re-enabled 4 of the thrusters, allowing the spacecraft to proceed with docking at the International Space Station. Despite the successful reactivation of most thrusters, 1 thruster remained non-functional, adding to concerns about the spacecraft's reliability. Initially planned for return on June 13, the astronauts' departure has been postponed 3 times without a new return date. NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams are now stuck on the International Space Station due to multiple new issues discovered with the Starliner spacecraft. The ongoing problems include not just the thruster failures but also helium leaks found in several thrusters. These leaks were discovered during the flight and have raised concerns about the spacecraft's ability to maintain adequate propulsion and control during its return. Boeing's repeated failures have left the astronauts in a risky situation, relying on a spacecraft that has yet to prove it can safely carry a crew. Elon Musk is openly criticizing Boeing's CEO David Calhoun, accusing him of lacking the necessary expertise. Musk argued that the CEO of an aircraft company should know how to design aircraft, not just handle spreadsheets. This criticism highlights Calhoun's background, noting his bachelor's degree in accounting from Virginia Tech University and lack of engineering experience. Under Calhoun's leadership, Boeing has faced several crises, including the 737 MAX 8 crashes in 2018 and 2019, and an incident earlier this year where an ejected door plug forced a passenger jet to make an emergency landing. Whistleblowers have also accused Boeing of not having proper safety standards. With 3 delays in its return flight and no scheduled landing date, Boeing's Starliner mission has everyone on edge. The crew has a total of 45 days to safely return, with 18 days already passed. As the old footage circulates, concerns about the astronauts' safety grow even louder. Meanwhile, SpaceX has significantly outpaced Boeing in the development of space capsules under NASA's Commercial Crew Program. SpaceX has successfully launched a total of 12 crewed flights since 2020, 8 for NASA and 4 for commercial customers. In 2024 alone, SpaceX has continued its momentum with the Crew 8 mission, which launched in March, and has additional missions planned, including private astronaut missions under the Axiom space program and the Polaris program. Plus, SpaceX uses its own rocket, the Falcon 9, to launch the Crew Dragon capsule. The Falcon 9 is currently the most reliable rocket in the world. As of now, it has completed over 300 successful missions and has achieved 291 successful booster landings out of 302 attempts. This rocket is known for its reusability, as the first stage booster returns to Earth and lands either on a drone ship or a ground pad, ready to be refurbished and launched again. On the other hand, Boeing relies on United Launch Alliance's rockets, such as the Atlas V, to launch the Starliner spacecraft. While the Atlas V is a proven launch vehicle, it does not match the reusability and launch frequency of the Falcon 9. ULA is also transitioning to its new Vulcan Centaur rocket, which has yet to establish the same track record as the Falcon 9. And that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.